Hi guys, Shane at Read the Wonder. I wasn't sure tonight if I was going to do a what am I calling it? A midnight musing, and it's about midnight, which it was far later than that last night when I did the first one. So I'm getting ready to go to bed, quite early for me, in fact. Um, when I was watching some Facebook, because unfortunately that's what I do. And I ran across there's a video. I follow somebody on there who's fairly, I mean, depending on who you are, she's fairly well known. And she's not in the tarot community, just kind of at large. Um, and I'm not going to use names. I don't want to do that because I love her. She's been amazing. She's an inspiration to many, but she without saying too much, okay, she was talking about how her and her husband do rituals every day. And by ritual, she means, and what she talked about was in the morning, they will go for a long walk. They do that every morning and every night. And then they will come home and they will do 10 minutes of what they are grateful for. And so on and so forth. There were quite a few things in this ritual, and then things that they do throughout the day as well. And it all sounds good. It's good stuff, right? It is good stuff that they're doing. Her and her husband. But then they have their therapy session recorded for Facebook with their therapist on speaker. I mean, I'm 100% positive that the therapist has agreed to do that. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to do that. But God, like that's brave, because I've seen firsthand what bringing private life can do. If you bring it onto YouTube, and they just live very openly, and to then have how honest are we being if we are having a therapy session online? I could never be honest if I had my therapy session with you guys, with my therapist on speaker. Like, no, it's not gonna happen ever. um, but so they get done telling him this because they're feeling kind of stressed, and she's like, "We've been doing all this, and maybe they're still not getting all the benefits they want." And his first reaction is, well, did I ever tell you about, and maybe you should add this to your ritual, is say, God, what was it? Say it's something along the lines of, today is going to be a great day, and at the end of the day, say, today went very well. Okay, really, that is, I won't go there. I won't go into what I think about that, doing that as part of any ritual. Um, but at that point, my brain was like, God, like, yeah, you're so stressed from your life that you need to do rituals, but at what point do you start getting stressed and overwhelmed because there is so much ritual? And I have dealt firsthand with this. I go to meetings. Some people know, and maybe a few of you don't know, or maybe you missed it. I am an addict, and that is not a discussion we are having today. Although I've thought about it, we'll see in the future what that brings. But so I've gone to meetings, and there have been times where I've been a die-hard meeting goer, following the steps, you know, practicing positivity, ridding myself of all negative thoughts, blah, 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 blah. And these are all good things. But there was a point, and there have been points. I'm bad at balance. Most addicts are pretty terrible with balance. It's all or nothing. It's either really good or really bad. And so that's a struggle for me, and I'm learning, and I think I've come a little ways. But so I will take that to a terrible degree. Like, if I'm focused, on recovering and becoming, really positive and having great days like that, it becomes an obsession, and the rituals can become just as traumatic as real life is. So And I did post a comment on her video. I hope it doesn't elicit too much reaction. I mean, I really am quite sick of drama on Facebook because it can happen very easily. And okay, again, another entirely different subject. But I said, at one point, do we start asking, why are our lives so stressful and we feel so awful that this sort of constant ritual having on a daily basis, multiple times a day, needs to happen? At what point do we solve or try to solve the underlying problems so that we don't have to keep telling ourselves we are beautiful, that we don't have to keep saying this is going to be a great day, that we don't have to list things we're grateful for 10 minutes? Like, these are all great things and they do have their time and place, but I think, and this is my opinion, that you start doing that every single day. And in her words, she said, and if I don't do it that day, I get really depressed and I have a bad day. Well, that's addiction. You've replaced an addiction with a healthier addiction, but it's still an addiction. And that's what I want to work on in my life. And I do need to use some of those things. A gratitude list isn't bad. I get stressed out when I have to do something every single day, because then I do feel really guilty if I don't do it. So I'm not that hard on myself anymore. So when I am feeling particularly down or particularly pissed or ungrateful, that is the point where I will write a gratitude list. And if it stays that way, I'll write one for a few days. And if I'm having a really bad day or wake up on the wrong side of the bed, maybe I will look in the mirror. I don't really do this, but maybe I would, on those days and say, Shane, you're gonna have a good day. I don't think there's toxic positivity, and then there's just trying to, put that out into the world. Excuse me, Shane, you are gonna have a good day, and so I think that these are really good things. I just fear that it becomes a problem, because I know for myself it has been a problem in the past when I took it all on. And I would feel really guilty when I didn't do these things. And it was nothing is worse than being an active addiction. No, that's kind of a lie, because there's again, another subject entirely. But if you're acting out on all of your toxic old behaviors while you're clean or sober, that's almost worse than being an active addiction, because you're not using anything to get rid of all the nastiness you feel from acting like a jackass, whatever. But it can get really hard. It got really hard on me. It gets really hard on me when I give myself a really hard time, and when I'm forcing myself to be and act more positive than I am. That is toxic positivity. At some point, we got to face it, and that's not saying that we shouldn't do anything constructive to try to get out of that hole, but we fake it till you make it is bullshit. And we don't need to be doing that. Every now and then, again, sure, yeah, it's necessary, but as a slogan for all time, fake it till you make it, no, that can make you sick. That means you're hiding, you're masking yourself. You're not really examining what's going on. You're not allowing others to see that. So then you're not allowed to be helped by others. And so that is my musing for this evening. Let me know what you think. And let's be open-minded, especially about topics like these, guys. If you have a totally different opinion and you think I'm way out of line, say so. And I'm not going to get offended. Like, we each have our own views and opinions, and that doesn't make me right or you wrong or you right and me wrong. I could be totally wrong here. But this is what's on my mind, and this is what at this moment I'm kind of thinking. And it's through discussion that I will open my mind and maybe look at some viewpoints I wouldn't normally see. So feel free to speak your mind on my channel always. Let me know what you think, and if there's anything that I missed or you think I should discuss further, that's it. I'm going to chill out for another half an hour, do some reading, and then go to sleep. All right. Hope everybody's well. Bye bye.